turning information into insights,
delivering quality learning to the highest point.
This is hashtag Litera-Z.
Before we kick off this episode, we would like to introduce ourselves. So, I am Jeff.
And I'm Cash, your host, and we would like to welcome you with a special co-literism that we have. So let's welcome Saturn.
Hi friends.
Hello. So, today we will be talking about media and information literacy, or for short, MIL. So, before we get into like the more technical aspect of these things, let's first talk about what we know about MIL. How have we encountered this? Have we learned it in school or something like that?
I think MIL, when I heard that we were going to talk about MIL, I always think of senior high. I guess we had that as a subject in our senior high days. If you're Humes, hey, shout out to Humes, let's go! But when you say MIL, I usually think of media, internet, and just knowledge about it. I think that's the basic knowledge that I have about MIL.
Yeah, I honestly have the same thoughts as that, because when we have encountered it first on our senior high school subject, my first thought about the subject is about computers, about things about the internet and all those, without knowing that we also have to talk about things about literature and how knowledgeable we are about these things, right?
Yeah. I remember in senior high, we went beyond the computer aspect of it. We didn't dwell too much on like how to power up a computer, how to use Microsoft Word and all that. I remember we delved into writing essays. Essays, surprisingly. And then they also taught us to write like different pieces like food reviews. So there's that. And it was the height of the pandemic. So of course they were like trying to challenge us creatively. So we would write things that were just within our home and something like that. Yeah. But with regards to MIL, what do you know now compared to what you knew before, for example, back in senior high?
I would like to add something with what you said, because you shared with us that you guys went past on the computer side. I think the most oppressing issue today when it comes to MIL is it's very under taught when it comes to other places here in the Philippines. For example, to us, on our MIL subjects, they only taught us about basic stuff like using Microsoft Word and Excel and all those. We didn't went beyond that.
Yeah.
So that's, I guess, one of the main reasons why a lot of kids today, a lot of Gen Zs lack knowledge about basic MIL information. So what do you guys think about that?
I think it's funny that you said that, because I think that Gen Z's, our generation, think that we are already MIL literate.
Yeah.
Just because we are born with devices, with phones. So I think people really don't take this seriously. Because I grew up using a phone, so I must be expert at MIL. So having MIL this college was a different viewpoint.
Yeah.
I guess as we tackle the elements of it, it made me realize how little we know of.
We only know the surface level, basically.
Especially when we stepped up to second year, third year, where we were exposed to like multiple composites of MIL. It's not just media and information literacy. Of course, there are a lot of branches under it. There's social media literacy and all that, which we will get into later.
Wow.
And then it was just like a very what do you call this? Just an open learning moment. Like it was really shocking, to say the least, that so what I know is just the surface of it all.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think about
I guess that roots on why there's a lot of issues going on that's related to MIL. Especially like there's a lot of scams going on online, but just because people don't know much about it. Like the simple, those videos that you guys see on about AI. It's, to us, it's very obvious that it's AI, but to other people, it's a different view for them, because to their eyes, it's very real, because they're not very much informed about the newest technologies, newest media tech. So, I guess we should talk about some issues and some stuff about MIL that you guys have.
Well, issues regarding MIL, I think there's it's a really broad thing. So maybe you can focus it down. We can water it down to maybe like what we said a while ago, social media literacy, because I think this is where most of these scams, not really scams, but all of these
Misinformation.
spreads, especially now in the 21st century. Are there any examples of like what you saw online besides from what Kashim mentioned? What you said?
When I think of problems we have in our social media, I always think of my dad. I mean, my dad's a bit of an older person, and he would always fall for scams, I mean, fake news. And I think one reason for that being is how open social media is. I mean, everyone can post,
Yeah.
anyone can comment, anyone can share.
Yeah.
And it's so open in a sense that no one really gets to verify sources anymore
Yeah.
because it's convenient. It's there, it's posted.
Yeah.
So I think one thing that we really have to do is to massively spread the proper fact checking, like proper
Exactly.
fact checking abilities. Because I feel like, again, because we're born in the social media age, people assume that we know how to fact check, or that's common sense already, but it really is not. So I feel like once we promote that more on social media, I think we can at least help the situation. How about you?
I think with regards to like fact checking, what you said is right. People have an open access to the internet, so there's also been a rise of citizen journalism. So basically, people would like share directly their experiences, what they saw, for like in real time. Unlike before, when news agencies would go to places, something like that. It's really accessible online now. But I think also what rose with citizen journalism was fact checking. If you see Rappler, for example, they launched this thing where when like this, for example, a post has a lot of traction and then it's alarming, they would go out of their way, they would write an article, they would actually do a fact check, like, and then they would post it and then it says fact check is false, and then there's an article that proves it. So I think it also taught citizens to be like more active when it comes to combating these kinds of things.
I would like to add, with regards to social media literacy, one of the most first issues about it during the beginning of the social media, since we're talking about social media literacy. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but it's called the I Love You virus, which we have a video about, guys. You can watch it on our social media on Facebook.
Yeah.
Basically, the I Love You virus is a virus that's created by a Filipino hacker.
Yeah.
Back in the day. That's when social media is still progressing. They're still developing it. We don't have much platforms like TikTok. We don't have those things back then. Basically, this virus, it's basically a virus where this hacker would send to a person, and then when that person interacted to that thread or email, it would spread to all the other contacts, which is, it's really not that harmful per se, but it's a kind of virus that a lot of people would fall into.
Yeah.
Just because they don't know how to properly use it back then. But I think today we have enough resources to actually know about this stuff. That's when social media literacy comes in.
Yeah.
So we have to know like the basic. First of all, let's define social media literacy. For those who don't know, social media literacy is about being knowledgeable, not just about social media, but also about the ethical considerations that we have in those, and how do we properly interact, and how do we properly share our thoughts online, because we have a lot of stuff that we want to share, but it might affect other people.
Yeah.
But anyways, going back to the topic, now we have resources that we can use, and I think we just have to work on what we have, honestly.
And
What do you guys think about that?
well, with regards to like resources, in addition to like what social media literacy is, it's also not just understanding how we use it, but how social media interacts with us. Algorithms, basically everything that comes with how your For You page, for example, is curated. That's all social media literacy, because nowadays people would know how, for example, I was just looking at this, why is it on my For You page now? People would understand that algorithms can read your personal preferences, your search history, and everything in between.
Yeah. Funny thing is about algorithms that I didn't know before is when I scroll on TikTok, I don't know if it's the same case for you guys. I was shocked because all of the things that I've been talking about in person, it just appears on my FYP. And my first theory back then is that they can hear what I was saying.
Yes.
But in reality, they have this complex algorithm that computes what you interact with. You know those cookies that for example, when you open a website and they ask you, do you allow cookies to like that? It's basically a form of algorithm tracking that can track what you guys are doing in the internet. That's how these big companies like YouTube, TikTok recommend you videos and stuff.
Going back to I just want to tie it to like the fake news thing. When you said that you thought that they could hear you,
Yeah.
do you remember when there were like conspiracy theories of like
Yes.
these big technological companies recording every single thing? That's how they hear. And again, tying back to social media literacy and maybe media and information literacy in general, of course, when we understand how it works, we become more trusting of how these internet sites and softwares work, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't how do you say this? We at nowadays we don't really fall for those kinds of conspiracies.
we're knowledgeable.
Yeah, we're knowledgeable already on how it works.
How about you, Sat? What steps do you do in protecting yourself online or just being literate in social media?
Well, personally, I like to cross-check a lot of things. I mean, things that I see on TikTok, I also search on Google, on Facebook, or even YouTube. So I think that's one advantage is that we get to cross-check. But again, not everyone has the time for that.
Yeah.
So I really rely, when I don't have time to cross-check, I rely on the sources I'm getting it from. When it's from a TikTok, I check, of course, the user was if he or she is knowledgeable about the topic or if it's by official media, like ABS, Rappler, then I usually check their content.
Yeah. Another thing with like the feature of social media are the verified users.
Yes.
So especially on TikTok, nowadays people could also how do you call this? Impersonate other people, other legacy media. So it's also nice that we have that measure where there's like this blue check on the side. Yeah. How about you? How do you protect yourself from like anything bad on the internet?
First of all, I follow pages like Zenith because in Zenith, we discuss stuff about protecting yourself online, about being knowledgeable in proper social media ethics and all those stuff, and especially we post contents, not just informative contents, but also somehow entertaining contents because we make sure that people, because nowadays people look for entertaining stuff. They look for something that they could laugh on and stuff.
Yes.
They call it infotainment, and that's what we do in Zenith. We show you guys the proper ways to interact online. And the proper ways to basically just live your online life. Because as a lot of our professors said, our online profile is an extension of ourselves. So we have to take care of it. Like it's a part of us. It's really an extension of ourselves. Basically. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, I think that Zenith's website is really cool. I mean, I was just there a while ago. I was playing the games.
Really?
Because, do you guys believe it? There are games and there's quizzes that I can play.
Yeah, actually.
The layouts is really nice and I get to learn about different branches of MIL and it's really nice.
Yeah.
And I heard that they really do their research well. Like, literally, they check all the sources, they cross-check, and they like compile all those information into one very accessible and easy to use website where you could just if you're bored, just click and read and maybe just equip yourself with all those knowledge.
Yeah, so wrapping it all up. Now we now all have that knowledge about social media literacy, and we also know that we can just visit the website of Zenith anytime that we wanted to. Basically, we just have to be well informed,
Yeah.
not just knowing the surface level, but also the things behind what we actually see
Yeah.
on social media. And that's basically our main goal in Xenius Media.
Mhm.
So visit our page, guys. Go check it out if you guys have time.
Yeah. Or if you're like within the page already, just feel free to like roam around this page. If you look up here, there are some activities here, so go there. How about you?
I had so much fun.
as fun as the website.
Yes, and of course,
Yes.
and I think that again, MIL is such a broad topic, but at the same time, it feels familiar. But having website like Zenit really helps us navigate through its complexities, and I think that the website Zenit is just perfect.
Chef's kiss.
I mean, it's what we need in these times of MIL. The lack of information for it, the lack of knowledge, and I think that it's a really great tool for everyone.
Thank you so much for watching on this episode of Litera-Z. Once again, I am Cash.
I am Jeff, and this is our special guest, Satur Gabe.
Yes, hello.
So, thank you so much. If you really learned a lot from our website or our video, please leave a thumbs up. Please feel free to leave good reviews here on our evaluation page. And we hope to see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.